Good day everyone, we are the Group 9 and today we tackled about the biography of Jose Rizal, Andres Bonifacio, Cayetano Arellano, Manuel L. Quezon, Imelda Marcos, and our former President Rodrigo Duterte. So first is Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Realonda. It is also known as Jose Rizal, a son of Teodoro Alonso Realonda and Francisco Mercado in a town of Calamba, La Laguna, and now we called Laguna. Jose Rizal is a brilliant student. He studied art literature, philosophy, medicine in a different school. Jose Rizal is also known as our national hero. On our calendar, the December 30 was our Rizal Day because he died that day and considered a national hero in the Philippines through his writing and action that would inspire the Philippine Revolution. His two famous novels is Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo. Noli Me Tangere, also known as Touch Me Not, that published on 1887 in Berlin, Germany. It is all about social issues and injustice. And a second one is El Filibusterismo, that means the reign of greed, that published on 1891 were in Agent Belgium. So why he wrote these novels? Because to expose the injustice and abusive under Spanish colonial in the Philippines, to spark a sense of national identity and a desire for reform and independence. Why Spanish colonized the Philippines? Because Spanish colonized the Philippines for a mix of economic, religious, and etc. That's why they colonized the Philippines. Why he is arrested? So, maong giaresto siya kay gipasangilan man siya sa pagpasiugda og rebellion og pagtukod og mga illegal nga mga association, and through his writing that were dim. So, where he arrested? He arrested on aboard the ship SS España while passing through Barcelona on October 6, 1896 during his return trip. After he arrested, Rizal was jailed in a Fort Santiago, tried by military court, and he found guilty. So why he found guilty? Because was not given the opportunity to defend himself. So after he found a guilt, he was executed by firing squad at Bagumbayan, and now we called Lunita Park in December 30, 1896. The second biography is Andres Bonifacio. So, his full name is Andres Bonifacio de Castro. He was born on November 30, 1863 in Tondo, Manila, and was a first children of Catalina de Castro. He is a founder and a leader of Katipunan Society who instigate the revolt against Spanish on August 1896. Bonifacio advocated complete independence from Spain. In 1892, he founded the Katipunan in Manila, modeling its organization and ceremony in that of the Masonic Order. The KKK, Kataas-Taasang Kagalang-galangang Katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan, known as Katipunan, the movement that independence of the Philippines from Spanish colonial rule. Why Andres Bonifacio lead or a founder of a KKK? Andres Bonifacio leadership and founding of the Katipunan were driven by his deep and sense of patriotism, his witnessing of the injustice suffered by Filipinos under the Spanish colonial rule, and his belief in a need of armed revolution to achieve independence. He is considered the father of the Philippine Revolution and a national hero of the Philippines. His legacy continues to inspire Filipinos to fight for their rights and freedoms. Why Andres Bonifacio executed? Katungod sa political nga pahibangi sulod sa Katipunan sa Tijeros Convention niadtong March 1897, and then napildi siya ani Aguinaldo isip usa ka pangulo. Og dito po siya gidakop sa Marigondon, Cavite pag May 10, 1897. And then he arrested and gihukman og silot sa kamatayon human sa korte militar. Then gidala siya sa kabukiran sa mga kasundaluhan og gipusil siya hantod nga namatay. Andres Bonifacio died on May 10, 1897 in Maragondon, Cavite, Philippines, and he was executed by a firing squad on the orders of Emilio Aguinaldo. So, si Emilio Aguinaldo ang nagsugok nga ipapatay si Andres Bonifacio.
Cayetano Arellano was the first justice of the Supreme Court of the Philippines under the American civil government. He was a prominent jurist and legal scholar who contributed significantly to the development of the Philippine legal system. Arellano was born on March 2, 1847 in Orion, Bataan, Philippines, and passed away on December 23, 1920, and later worked on Manila. His final resting place is at La Loma Cemetery in Manila. He served as Chief Justice from 1901 until his retirement on April 12, 1920. Arellano's appointment as a Chief Justice was driven by his exceptional legal expertise and his willingness to cooperate with the American government for the betterment of Philippines. He played a key role in organizing the courts and codifying laws. Through hard work and dedication, Arellano rose from humble beginnings to become a legal luminary. He studied at Colegio de San Juan de Letran and the University of Santo Tomas, earning degrees in philosophy, theology, and law. His career included teaching law, practicing as a lawyer, and serving in various governmental positions before becoming Chief Justice.
So I am John Michael Lazo. So my report is about Manuel L. Quezon's biography. Manuel L. Quezon's Manuel Quezon's or born Manuel Luis Quezon's Molina. So Manuel Quezon's born in 1878, died in August 1, 1994 in Saranac Lake, New York, US, the age 65. So Quezon was a Filipino statesman, soldier, and politician who served as President of the Commonwealth of the Philippines from 1935 to 1934. He was the first Filipino to head a government of the entire Philippines as opposed to the government of previous Philippine state, and is considered to have been the second president of the Philippines after Emilio Aguinaldo's in 1899 to 1901. So during his presidency, Quezon tackled the problem of landless peasants in the countryside. His other major decisions include the reorganizations of the island's military defense, approval of recommendations for government reorganizations, the promotions of settlement and development in Mindanao, dealing with the foreign stranglehold on Philippine trade and commerce, proposals for land reform, and opposing graft and competitions within the government. So he established a government in exile in the US with the outbreak of the war and threat of Japanese invasion. So Quezon was born in Baler, the district of El Principal, New Baler, Aurora. So his parents were named Lucio Quezonst, and her mothers are Maria Dolores Molina. So his father was a primary grade school teacher from the Paco, Manila, and retired sergeant of the Spanish Spanish colonial army, while his mother was a primary grade school teacher in their hometown. So, since ang mga parents ni Quezon kay dako mag-contribute sa education, so during sa time niya sa pag-eskwela sa Juan, daghan gyud siyang nakuha mga award kay utukan man siya. So, Quezon received most of his primary education from the public school establishment by the Spanish government in his village from public education system. He later border of the Colegio de San Juan de Letran, completed secondary school. So si Quezon kay na-appeal siya atong naay katong free education during atong Spanish colonial period. So libre ring pag-eskwela to. So in 1899, Quezon left his law studies at the University of Santo Tomas to join the independence movement during the Philippines-American War. He was an aide-de-camp to Emilio Aguinaldo. He rose to the rank of the major and fought in the Bataan sector. After surrendering in 1900, he made a first break-in in the American press. Quezon returned into the university and passed the bar examinations in 1903. So, ang atong during si Quezon may nagkuan sa Commonwealth. So, ang unsa din yung Commonwealth day. So, ang Commonwealth Act in the Philippines kay mo na siya ang transitional period between Philippine independence from the United States and its formal establishment as the Republic, including citizenship and public health. So ang Commonwealth Constitutions kay mo siyang outlined from the framework for Republican government with a president elected for a 6-year term. The constitutions as defined the powers of the legislative, executive, and judicial branches and outline fundamental rights for Filipino citizens. So ang kaniyang presidency or sa kaniya na time kay mo ning Republicans, which is muna niyang gigamit handud karon kanang mag-elected tao president, dayon ang mapili kay ang mga tao or katawhan or sila may mo butar sila o kinsa ilang gustong mahimong president. So he received most of his primary education from the public school establishment by the Spanish government in his village free public education system. He boarded at the Colegio de San Juan de Letran, completed secondary school. So si Quezon kay napil atong pre na pa-eskwela sa mga during atong Spanish na colonial time. So in 1899, Quezon left his law studies at the University of Santo Tomas to join the independence movement during the Philippine-American War. He was an aide-de-camp to Emilio Aguinaldo. He rose to the rank of the major and fought in the Bataan sector. And after surrendering in 1900, he made the first break in the American press. Quezon returned to the university and passed the bar's examinations in 1903, achieving fourth place. He works for a time as a clerk and surveyor entering government service as an appointed fiscal treasurer for Mindanao and later Tayabas. He became a councillor and was elected governor of Tayabas in 1906. After hard-fought elections in 1907, he was elected to the first Philippine Assembly, later became the House of Representatives, with his second a majority floor leader and chairman of the committee from 1909 to 1916. He served as one of the Filipinos' two resident commissioners to the U.S. House of Representatives, lobbying from the passage of the Philippine Autonomy Act or Jones Law. So ang Jones Act ay mo siyang state announcing the intentions of the U.S. government to withdraw their sovereignty over the Philippine Islands in 1898. Then Quezon returned to the Manila in 1916 to be elected into the Philippine Senate and later elected by his peers as Senate President, serving until 1935, 19 years, becoming the longest serving. He headed the first independent missions to the U.S. Congress in 1919. He served the passage of the Tidings-McDuffie Act in 1934. So, Tidings-McDuffie Act, Philippine Independence Act of 1934 to July 4, 1946. So, it's an act of Congress that established the process for the Philippines, then U.S. territory, to become an independent country after a 10 years transition period under the Act. In 1935, the Act was entitled 73rd United States Congress by Senator Millard E. Tidings of Maryland and Representative John McDuffie. So ang nagbuhat ani na kay moto si Millard E. Tidings ug si John McDuffie. So into the law by President and into the sign in into the law by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. So ang sign ani sa signature kasi President Franklin D. Roosevelt. So in 1922, Quezon became the leader of the Nationalista Party Alliance. Quezon was married to his first cousins Aurora Aragon Quezon on December 17, 1818. The couple had 4 children. So ang si Quezon og iyang asawa kay nay 4 ka anak. Nasa Jay usa ka buok ka nang gi-adapt ra niya. So ang ngansa iyang gi-adapt na grandson si Manuel L. Manolo Quezon III. So born in May 1970. So in 1935, Quezon won the Philippines' first national presidential elections under the banner of the Nationalista Party, who obtained nearly 68% of the vote against the two main rivals, Emilio Aguinaldo and Gregorio Aglipay. So during sa iyang pagdagan pagka-presidente kay nasay duha ka kaatbang or ka kompetensya kato si Gregorio Aglipay ug si Emilio Aguinaldo. So kinsam din ni si Gregorio Aglipay Cruz. So kini siya kay mo ni siya si Gregorio Aglipay Cruz Labayan. So was a Filipino former Roman Catholic priest and revolutionary during the Philippine Revolutions and Philippine-American War, who has become the first head and leader of the Iglesia Filipina. So si Emilio Aguinaldo was a Filipino revolutionary statesman and military leader who became the first president of the Philippines. He served as the second state-term president of the Philippines, lasting for only 2 years and 27 days only. So Quezon was inaugurated in November 1935. He is recognized as the second president of the Philippines. In 2008, House Representative Rodolfo Valencia of Oriental Mindoro filed a bill seeking instead to declare General Miguel Malvar as the second Philippine president, having directly succeeded Aguinaldo in 1901. So President Quezon was given the power under the Reorganizations Act to appoint the first all-Filipino Philippines in the 1935. From 1901 to 1935, although a Filipino was always appointed Chief Justice, the majority of the members of the Supreme Court were Americans. Complete Filipinization was achieved only with the establishment of the Commonwealth of the Philippines in 1935. So Claro M. Recto and Jose P. Laurel was among Quezon's first appointees to replace the American justice in the membership in the Supreme Court. Increased to 11 the Chief Justice and 2 Associate Justice who sit being in the in the divisions of the 5-member each.
Hi everyone, my name is Carlos Miguel Parehain, and my topic about biography of Imelda Romualdez Marcos. Imelda Romualdez Marcos, born Imelda Remedios Visitation, Trinidad, Romualdez, July 2, 1929, is a Filipino politician who was First Lady of the Philippines from 1965 to 1986, wielding significant politician power after her husband Ferdinand Marcos placed the country under martial law. In September 1972, she is the mother of current President Bongbong Marcos, and also she is the mother of the Philippine House of Representatives during her husband's 20-year rule. Imelda Marcos ordered the construction of many grandiose architectural projects using public funds and in impossibly short order. A propaganda practice which eventually came to be known as her device. Complex, she and her husband stole billions of pesos from the Filipino people, amassing a personal fortune estimated to have been worth US 5 billion to us 10 billion by the time they were deposited in 1986. By 2018, about 3.6 billion of this had been recovered by the Philippine government, either through compromise deals or sequestration cases. And that's all, and thank you.
My name is J.D.M. Linao, and this is my topic. It's all about the Duterte biography. Rodrigo R. Duterte, born in March 28, 1945, he served as the 16th President of the Philippines from 2016 to 2022. Rodrigo early life. Born on March 28, 1945 in Maasin, Leyte, now Southern Leyte, and moved to Davao City as a child. There his father Vicente Duterte served as a provincial governor. Study at Labuan Elementary School, Santa Ana Elementary School, and Holy Cross College of Digos, now Cor Jesu College. Graduate with a law degree from San Beda College in Law in 1972. Rodrigo Roa Duterte career. Worked as a lawyer and prosecutor in Davao City. Served as a vice mayor and mayor of Davao City for over 22 years, transforming the city into a peaceful and investor-friendly area. Ran for president in 2016 and won, becoming the first president from Mindanao and the oldest person to assume the office at 71. Rodrigo Roa Duterte presidency focused on combating the illegal drug trade, fighting crime and corruption, and intensifying efforts against terrorism and communities insurgency. Launch a massive infrastructure plan, initiative, liberal economic reforms, and streamline government process oversaw the controversial burial and Ferdinand Marcos the 2017 Battle of Marawi and the government's response of the COVID-19 pandemic. Rodrigo Roa Duterte controversy faced criticism for his war on drugs, which led to thousands of deaths and sparked international condemnation, accused of having links to extrajudicial killings and death squad, including the double death squad, made controversial moments, including admitting to personally killing suspect and making rap jokes. Rodrigo Roa Duterte, post-presidency, withdrew from politics in 2021, initially announcing his candidacy for vice president before deciding to retire, faced an international criminal court investigation of his war on drugs, leading to this arrest and transfer to the Hague in March 2025. Thank you.